That's why when you're doing certain things, you have to make sure that you know the law. You're having a trial in the Philippines, it's going to be no less than 2 years most of the time. But then on top of that, he was in there with 70 to 120 people. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jay, the Black Filipino TV. Now today, this video is going to be titled, Learn Why This Expats Gets 9 years in Jail for Hiring Filipinos to Work Abroad. And from the way it was reported, I can tell he really didn't know and understand the law. And that's why I've been doing certain things here. You have to know the law. But guys, stay tuned. We're going to get into it right now after this. Alright guys, so what happened was, this brother here was arrested for illegal recruiting and stuck in a Filipino jail for 9 years. Now, I'm gonna go a little bit over what it is he got charged for. And the thing is, illegal recruitment, right? He could have been doing this legally and not even trying to take advantage of Filipinos. Now, when I looked up illegal recruiting, and I have it right here in front of me, it's a 14-part law, meaning it goes from A all the way through N. That's how many things you can do false. 14 different things you can do false. And I'll just go over some of them. Now, one of them is to change or accept directly or indirectly any amount greater than that specified in a schedule of allowable fees prescribed by the Secretary of Labor and Employment, or to make a worker pay or acknowledge any amount greater than that actually received by him as a loan or advance. Which is what a lot of people do out here in the Philippines. Pay this fee and I can get you a job here. Illegal recruitment is considered as economic sabotage if it is carried out by a group of 3 or more persons conspiring or confederating with one another, or it is committed against 3 or more persons individually as a group. It says this crime, it's under Republic Act number 10,022, states that any person found guilty of illegal recruitment shall suffer the penalty of imprisonment of not less than 12 years and 1 day, but not more than 20 years, and a fine of not less than 1 million pesos, no more than 2 million pesos. And it says that if the legal recruitment constitutes economic sabotage, the penalty of life imprisonment and the fine is not less than 2 million pesos. I get it, you know. So many Filipinos in the past have been taken advantage of, and this brother had no idea. Him and his Filipino wife, I guess, she probably brought the idea to him, like, honey, you know, maybe we can get these Filipinos jobs in the UK. I'm sure you know someone out there who needs employment. Maybe they can go there and work. But still, maybe even if it was legit, right? You have any one of these 14 parts wrong. For instance, I'm looking at number 13, M, failure to reimburse expenses incurred by the worker in connection with its documentation and processing for purposes of deployment. There's so many different things you can get wrong. So that means he got caught because he did one of these things wrong, and he may not have even been aware of what it was he did wrong. That's why when you're doing certain things, you have to make sure that you know the law. You know, I remember many years ago, actually I was hiring Filipinos, but it wasn't to bring them to the United States. I was hiring Filipinos to do work online. And I think for things like that, it's fine. Or if you're coming over here and you're gonna bring a BPO into the country, that's fine. You know, if you're gonna have people working for you online, that's fine. But getting involved with bringing people back to another country, it's too many things within that, and it's too many things that you can get caught up in and be in a bad situation. So it says they said he defrauded job seekers in the Philippines with promises of employment in the UK. And the crazy thing is, what happened to him is in the Philippines, right? You could be sitting in a jail for 2 to 5 years waiting for a trial. And that happens to everyone. Filipinos, they get arrested for something that they may only have to serve a couple of months for, end up being in jail for 2 to 5 years. It's crazy, 2 to 5 years. So that's what happened with him. He was in jail for 2 to 5 years, and every time court came up, they kept canceling it and rescheduling it. His court dates kept getting canceled and rescheduled. You know, where I'm from, of course, that happens too, but nowhere near as much as it happens here. You're having a trial in the Philippines, it's going to be no less than 2 years most of the time. and people know that. And then also what happened to him is he was stuck in a vicious cycle. And when he was in jail, it was a 25 by 25. That means it was 82 feet one way and then 82 feet the other way, meaning front to back, right? But then on top of that, he was in there with 70 to 120 people. And at 85, it was 85 feet. But still, 70 to 120 people in that small of a space, he lost his mind. You know, he was barely eating. And then after a while, he became ill. You guys know how Philippines prison is. And what happened with him is he actually caught skin scabies. And he wasn't able to move around or be active. So it played tricks on his mind. He actually had to take high blood pressure medicine. He started taking psych medication while he was there. You know, because of the inhumane feeling. And of course, you're in prison. Don't get me wrong. You're in U.S. prison. You're going to feel that way too. You may actually feel worse because you may have a lot more pressure on you. Philippines jail is not where to be. And he wanted to hide away. What happened with him is he was in there with different guys, right? Then when he got transferred to another facility to do his full sentence, he was stuck in a situation where there was so many gangs, so much gambling going on, so much drugs going on. He wanted to be able to hide away in a cell, but he couldn't. He couldn't. All from a man trying to have a come up. He just wanted to have a come up, make a way for himself while he was here in the Philippines, but ends up in a Philippines jail for 9 years for illegal recruiting. Sad situation. And it probably was her idea too. I'm sure it was her idea. Honey, this is a great idea. We can hire these Filipinos and give them employment. And you know what? He didn't do any background work on it. He didn't check things out on himself probably. And this is what happens. This is what happens. You know, but guys, I'm sure none of you guys are going to come here and get involved in that. But for you guys coming out here to do business, be sure you look up the laws on these different things you're doing. Especially if you're having a business where you bring in Filipinos to work abroad, you definitely want to look at illegal recruiting law, because you could be falling under one of these different 14 parts of this law that you may not be so sure about. So yeah guys, that's why I report things like this. I report things like this to let you guys know what can happen to you while you're out here. There's a lot of guys come out here, some guys is just ridiculous. Like, why would you come to the Philippines and do that anyway? Then there's some guys who honestly just don't understand the law and they get caught up with things. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you like my content, you're welcome to support my content by giving a small donation at PayPal. You can go to my Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/JTBF. And there you can buy me a coffee, or you can book a consultation with me. I have consultations for a very small fee. Also, I have consultations for working at home. So if you're a guy that's a little younger and not quite retired yet, and you want to work from home while in the Philippines, you can go to my Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/JTBF. And also I have a packages for working at home. So you'll see them there. You can book it there. You can get a shirt that represents your journey to the Philippines at foxtonomy.creator-spring.com. Once again, that's foxtonomy.creator-spring.com, and get a shirt that represents your journey to the Philippines today. There's a new feature to YouTube. It's thanks. Now at the bottom of this video, you'll see thanks there. You can give thanks and make sure your comment is highlighted, and you can give a small donation that way as well. Guys, in the description, you'll see other videos of my other content that's great as well. So you can be sure to watch my other content there. Thank you for watching. See you next video.